Welcome back to the deep dive. I was looking at my bathroom counter this morning, and it looked a bit like a chemistry lab had an explosion.
I know that feeling.
We've spent the last decade being told that skincare is a battle. We are fighting wrinkles, we're attacking aging, we're essentially sandblasting our faces with acids until they surrender.
It's been a very aggressive era for skincare, hasn't it? The whole burn it to earn it philosophy.
Exactly. But today, we are talking about a massive vibe shift. According to the industry forecasts for 2025 and 2026, the war is over. We're moving from anti-aging to something called slow aging.
Hmm.
And to help us navigate this, we are digging into a massive review by Director Pai.
And for anyone who doesn't follow the deep cuts of the Korean beauty world, Director Pai isn't just an influencer holding up a bottle because the packaging is pink.
Right. No,
She is arguably one of the most rigorous ingredient analysts in the game.
this isn't a first impressions video. This is a deep analytical review of over 30 ampoules and serums involving clinical data and a whole team of testers with different skin types.
Yeah, from oily to hypersensitives, the scope is huge.
So what was the mission here?
The mission of this particular review was to decode this new concept of dermal boosting.
Dermal boosting. It sounds like something you do to a car engine.
It's actually a great analogy. Instead of just polishing the hood, which is, what exfoliation does, dermal boosting is about feeding the engine.
Okay.
It's about using ingredients like PDRN, NAD, and bacterial ferments to strengthen the skin's own biological machinery so it repairs itself.
So less peeling, more feeding.
Precisely. And the key themes we're going to see today are, 1, precise concentrations, so not just more is better, and a big move away from those harsh acids toward barrier repair and niacinamide.
Okay, let's unpack this. If we're slow aging, we need a strong foundation. Director Pai starts with the high moisture calming barrier category. Now, moisturizing sounds basic, but apparently it's complicated.
It is surprisingly difficult to get right. This category is for people with sensitive skin who need hydration but can't tolerate active ingredients.
Low irritation, high recovery.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
But there is a constant battle in formulation between texture and efficacy.
You mean the sticky factor?
Exactly. To get moisture deep into the skin and keep it there, you usually need occlusion something to seal it in. Let's look at the Dr. G Green Mild Up Red Blemish Essence.
I see this one everywhere.
It's a massive seller, very famous. It uses heart leaf and cica, which are fantastic soothing ingredients.
Right?
But to make it feel hydrating, the formula relies heavily on polymer thickeners.
Which makes it feel goopy.
It feels substantial, but here's the critique. Those thickeners can sit on top of the skin. If your barrier is already damaged, the product forms a film, but the skin underneath still feels tight.
Oh, that inner dryness. I hate that.
Exactly. You're wet on the outside, but thirsty on the inside.
That is the worst feeling. It's like wearing a raincoat in a sauna. So if Dr. G is the thick option, what's the structural option?
Director Pai highlights the Astura Ato Barrier 365. Now, this is interesting because it uses a ceramide hyaluron complex.
So mixing oil and water, basically.
Right. Ceramides are lipids fats. Hyaluronic acid loves water. Getting them to stabilize together is chemically difficult.
I can imagine.
Astura nailed it for combination skin. But even then, the review notes a sticky finish. It's the price you pay for that hyaluronic acid holding onto water on the surface.
It seems like there's always a trade-off, but there was one ingredient that really caught my eye because it sounds like it belongs in a salad, not on my face. Snow mushroom.
The Tremella fusiformis.
Yes.
Yes. This is the standout ingredient in the VT glucosamine essence.
Okay.
They use a proprietary component derived from snow mushroom called glucosamine, and they pair it with squalane.
Squalane is the one that mimics our natural oils, right?
Correct. Squalane is very similar to human sebum, so it absorbs beautifully without clogging pores. When you combine that with the snow mushroom extract, you get this unique ability to address both the surface dryness and that deep inner tightness we talked about, but without the heavy, sticky polymers of the Dr. G product.
So it's the Goldilocks option. Not too thick, not too sticky.
Exactly. It's non-comedogenic, making it a rare hydrating win for oily skin types.
I love that. Using mushrooms to fix your moisture barrier. But let's say you're past the point of just being dry. Your face is red, it's stinging, you've maybe overdone it with a scrub.
Yeah, you need a paramedic, not a glass of water.
Right. What do you do?
That is where the rescue category comes in. The top recommendation here is the Dewy Tree AC Deep Barrier Calming Ampoule.
What makes it a rescue product?
It's the combination of high concentration panthenol and PDRN. Panthenol is vitamin B5, which is the gold standard for putting out the fire of inflammation.
And PDRN, that's what we're going to talk about that later, right? That's the DNA stuff.
It's a regenerative agent. But in this context, it's about speed. The reviewer actually shared a personal story where she damaged her own barrier from over-cleansing.
Oh, wow.
Stripped the lipids right away. She used this Ampoule, and it restored the lipid layer incredibly fast. It's for when your skin is just screaming at you.
Okay, so we've put out the fire. We're hydrated. Now let's talk about the aesthetic stuff. The glow, the marks, the tone and mark correction category.
Yes.
And looking at the notes, it feels like niacinamide has completely conquered the world.
It really has. It is effectively replacing harsh acids as the go-to brightening ingredient.
Yeah.
And to understand why, you have to understand the biology of a dark spot. That's a chain reaction.
Okay, give us the crash course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Step 1, UV rays or irritation trigger an enzyme called tyrosinase. That's the ignition key.
Got it.
Step 2, melanin pigment is produced. Step 3, that pigment is packaged up and transferred into your visible skin cells.
And niacinamide is the goalie.
Niacinamide is the goalie that stops the transfer. The pigment might be made, but niacinamide keeps it from reaching the surface where you can see it.
Okay.
Meanwhile, ingredients like arbutin block the ignition key, and tranexamic acid stops the pigment from sinking deeper.
So you really need a team approach. You can't just rely on one player.
Exactly. That's why single-ingredient serums are becoming less popular in favor of these cocktails. But we are seeing a new solo player entering the field, glutathione.
I usually hear about glutathione as like a vitamin drip or a supplement.
It's a master antioxidant. Now we're seeing it topically, like in the Persil glutathione flexible liposome Ampoule. You have 5% glutathione.
But the review flagged this one for a very specific reason, the texture.
It's incredibly watery. It runs right off your hand. And paradoxically, even though it's a liquid, it could be drying.
Wait, water can be drying?
If it evaporates too quickly, yes. And glutathione itself doesn't offer moisture. So if you use this, you absolutely need a barrier cream on top.
Right.
It's a treatment, not a moisturizer.
Now, speaking of drying out, we need to talk about percentages. There is this idea in marketing that more is better. If 5% niacinamide works, 15% must be a miracle.
That is the percentage trap, and it's dangerous. The review points to the COSRX niacinamide 15 serum.
15% sounds huge.
It is massive. And don't get me wrong, for a specific person, someone with very oily, hardy, resistant skin, it is incredible at sebum control. It just shuts down oil production.
But for anyone else?
For anyone else, that much niacinamide creates what's called osmotic pressure. It can cause sudden, intense inner dryness.
So you treat the dark spot, but you wreck your barrier in the process.
Exactly. If you have sensitive skin, Director Pai explicitly says, do not use 15% daily. Stick to the 5 or 6% range, like in the Aven Hyaluron Active B3 or the Dewy Tree AC Deep Trace.
This more is better mindset actually leads us perfectly to the cautionary tale of this episode. The notes call it the teenager incident. When I read this, I actually winced.
It's a tough story. It involves the Maman Rose Hyaluron Ampoule. Now, visually, this product is beautiful. It smells like roses, it's pink, it looks hydrating.
It looks like something you'd buy because it looks cute on your shelf.
Yeah, exactly. And it became a viral hit with students, middle schoolers, high schoolers. They were using it morning and night because they thought it was just a rose water serum.
But it wasn't.
No. It contains active exfoliating acids intended for sebum control. So these kids were unintentionally giving themselves a chemical peel twice a day.
Oh, no. And their skin is so much thinner at that age.
Right. It led to a wave of contact dermatitis cases in clinics. The lesson here isn't that the Maman product is bad. It's actually quite good for oil control if used correctly.
Right.
The lesson is that just because a product looks gentle doesn't mean it is. And exfoliating acids are almost never for daily use.
So let's offer a solution here. If you want to smooth your skin texture, but you don't want to burn your face off like this teenagers, what is the safe route?
You want to look for larger molecules or slower delivery systems. The review recommends the Abib Heartleaf Teca Capsule Serum. It uses centella that has been encapsulated, so it releases slowly.
Slow release means less shock.
Exactly. Or you can go for PHA, like in the reformulated Astura Asica 365. PHA is a huge molecule. It's too big to penetrate deep enough to irritate the nerves, but it smooths the surface beautifully.
And I noticed one product that claimed to regulate oil with no acids at all.
The Celitix Trouble 7 Balance. This is fascinating. It uses a proprietary organic complex to physically balance sebum without stripping the skin.
That's interesting.
If you are acne-prone, but your skin freaks out at the mention of salicylic acid, this is a very modern alternative.
Okay, so we've hydrated, we've brightened, and we've safely exfoliated. Now we are entering the sci-fi portion of the show, the frontier. This is the dermal boosting and lifting category.
This is where the slow aging trend really gets technical.
I'm ready.
This is the core of the 2025 shift. These products aren't trying to fix a blemish. They are trying to biologically upgrade the skin's performance.
Let's start with the ingredient that sounds the weirdest. Green tomato.
It does sound like a salad ingredient. This is the ingredients editor, green tomato NN4. It uses green tomato water, but the real star here is NMN.
NMN. I've read about this in longevity research. Isn't it usually for extending lifespan?
It is. Nicotinamide mononucleotide. It's a precursor to NAD plus WROOD, which fuels your mitochondria, the power plants of your cells. The theory is that by applying this, you are energizing the skin cells to act younger.
Does it actually work?
The testers reported a distinct glow. But it's interesting, the product contains powdery components. So it leaves a finish that's almost like a liquid powder.
Okay, from tomatoes to spiderwebs. Let's talk about Biodance. The notes describe the texture as stretching like melted cheese.
This is a texture you have to see to believe. It's the Biodance porifectum. It contains collagen threads. When you lift the dropper, the serum physically stretches out in a long string.
Is that functional or is it just for TikTok?
It's a bit of both. The stretching comes from the high collagen content. When you apply it, it creates a physical film on the skin. That film tightens as it dries, giving you a massive, instant glass skin reflection.
But is it treating the skin or just painting over it?
That is the crucial question. Some users reported that while they looked shiny, they felt dry underneath the film. It's a brilliant aesthetic booster for a night out, but it might not be doing the deep structural work you want for long-term anti-aging.
For structural work, the industry seems to be betting on the salmon.
PDRN.
I have to say it, we are talking about salmon sperm DNA.
We are indeed. It's derived from the milt of salmon or trout. It's remarkably similar to human DNA base pairs, which is why it's used in regenerative medicine.
Right, for joints and wounds.
And now, it's in the Medicube PDRN pink peptide serum. It claims to lift and tighten. But there was a very specific, very important warning in the source material about this one.
A critical warning.
To get that large DNA molecule to penetrate the skin, Medicube uses an ingredient called isopropyl myristate,
Which is?
a penetration enhancer that is highly comedogenic.
So a pore clogging.
Extremely. If you are acne-prone, this product could be a nightmare. It could clog your pores instantly.
Wow.
But if you have dry, sagging skin with small pores, it could be a miracle worker for density.
That is the kind of detail that saves people from a breakout disaster. Always read the label.
Absolutely.
Let's move to the concept of biohacking. We talked about NMN, but the other big acronym is NAD.
Right. BioHealBo has released the NAD Freezel Glow Power. You can actually see the little capsules of NAD suspended in the gel.
And these capsules burst.
They do. They use liposomal delivery, basically tiny fat bubbles, to carry the NAD deep into the skin. When you rub it in, the capsules burst like water. It's designed to improve skin density from the inside out.
An inner glow rather than a surface shine.
That's the idea.
And finally, the heavyweights. The department store giants are playing this game too. Lancome and Eucerin.
They are. Lancome's Genifique Ultimate is doubling down on fermentation, pre- and probiotics.
The microbiome.
Yes. The idea is that if you fix the bacterial environment of the skin barrier, the skin heals itself. The clinicals were impressive, specifically mentioning pore shrinkage around the nose for people with dehydrated, oily skin.
Which is a very specific and hard-to-treat concern.
Very.
And Eucerin is doing something called epigenetics.
The Hyaluron plus epigenetic serum. This is probably the most scientifically ambitious claim. They use an ingredient called epicillin, which is designed to reactivate genes that have been turned off by aging.
Turning the genes back on, that sounds intense.
It is. And interestingly, for an anti-aging product, it's incredibly light. It doesn't increase oil.
Which is rare. Usually anti-aging means heavy, greasy cream that breaks you out.
Exactly. This makes it one of the rare, high-tech anti-aging options suitable for oily skin types.
Okay, we've surveyed the landscape, we've looked at the science, now I want the verdict. Director Pai released the top of the top year-end awards. Let's run through these so you know exactly what to buy based on your skin profile.
Let's do it.
Scenario 1. You have sensitive skin. Maybe you over-exfoliated, maybe it's just winter, your barrier's trashed. Who wins?
The winner is the Dewy Tree AC Deep Barrier. It's that combination of megapanthenol, cica, and mint. It cools the skin down and repairs the lipid layer faster than anything else tested.
Scenario 2. You have acne, but you also have those annoying dark marks left behind. You need to treat both without causing more breakouts.
COSRX, the alpha-arbutin 2. This is a powerhouse. It suppresses melanin at every stage: formation, transfer, and depth.
But there is a rule for this one, right?
Yes. Do not mix it with prescription acne meds like retinol or benzoyl peroxide. It's too potent. Use it on your off nights.
Scenario 3. You want that glow, but your skin is reactive. You can't handle strong acids.
Aven Hyaluron Active B3. It's 85% thermal spring water. That water acts as a buffer for the high concentration of niacinamide. You get the brightening effect with almost zero irritation risk.
And finally, for the anti-aging crowd, if you want the best tech for lifting and density.
If you are shopping online or at a drugstore, it's the BioHeal Bow NAD. Low irritation works beautifully under makeup.
And if you have the budget for a luxury brand,
Lancôme Genifique or Eucerin. The Eucerin specifically showed visible lifting of the nasolabial folds, the smile lines, which is notoriously hard to treat with topical products.
it's amazing to see how specific these recommendations are. It really drives home the point that good skincare is entirely dependent on your skin type.
That is the most important takeaway from this entire deep dive. The slow aging philosophy isn't about buying the strongest chemical you can find. It's about precision.
It's not about burning the village to save it.
Right. We used to peel the skin to force it to regenerate. Now we are using prebiotics, NAD, PDRN, epicellin. We are feeding the cellular engine so they do the work themselves.
But as we saw with the salmon DNA and the pore clogging ingredients, high-tech doesn't mean risk-free. You have to match the active to your sensitivity.
Absolutely. You cannot just grab the trendy DNA serum if you have acne. You have to understand the vehicle it comes in.
Yeah.
High efficacy often comes with texture trade-offs, stickiness, dryness, or oiliness. You have to find your balance.
It really makes you think about the future of this industry.
It does. Listening to this list, cellular energy activators, DNA fragments, microbiome modifiers, epigenetic switches, it raises a question.
What's that?
Are we even talking about skincare anymore? Or are we moving into biohacking for the face? If we are truly reactivating genes and manipulating cellular energy, the line between a cosmetic product and a medical treatment is getting very, very blurry.
That is a thought to leave you with as you stare at your bathroom shelf tonight. Check your labels. Are you simply moisturizing or are you hacking your biology?
Indeed. Keep exploring.
Thanks for listening to The Deep Dive. We'll catch you next time.